Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time as we have Don Mclean here for an exclusive live interview to celebrate the 50th anniversary of American Pie here on WCMO FM 98.5. Say hello to everyone out there, Don.
How are you?
Good, you?
I'm very well, thank you. How's things in Marietta, Ohio?
It's good. It's been sunny lately, and a lot of people out. And it's great that music's coming back to town. So all the bars and everything are open with live music, which is great.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful.
So, do you want to tell us? Oh, let me fade that a little bit more. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've been working on with the 50th anniversary remix, or remastered, I should say?
Sure. Well, I'm working with a man named Spencer Proffer, who is a producer, and we are making at this time right now a documentary movie called "The Day the Music Died: The Making of Don Mclean's American Pie." And it's going to focus on the years from 1969 to about 1972, and it will interweave the composition as well as what was going on in the country and what was going on in my world. And so we hope to have an unusual documentary that will be different from any other that's ever been done, with me, that's for sure. Then we're doing a children's book, and we're doing a Broadway show, and we've got contracts with all these people that do these things. The children's book's going to come out October 1st, and it's almost ready to go to the printer. And I will be touring certainly next year, God willing. It should be no problem next year, and maybe the end of this year, some things. And I've put out a new album in October called Still Playing Favorites, which is out there, and I encourage everybody to have a listen to it. You can go onto my YouTube channel, Don Mclean YouTube channel, and you can listen to many albums that have been uploaded onto that site, over 11 albums with 173 tracks. Many other albums are out there, but every album I've ever made is now on every streaming platform that there is. And so a lot of good things are happening in that area. And I'm just working now on a new album of new songs, which I have completed. And we're putting the finishing touches on that for release later in the year. So I am busy.
Still have a lot going on with touring and new music coming out.
Yes, I'm a busy boy.
Yeah. So I got to ask, this is seriously going on, the 50th anniversary of American Pie. Did you ever think, you'd stay active this long, or you'd get to this point?
My God, no. I thought I was going to be washed up and finished a year later, and I was ready for that. I've tried to be a pure artist, but I never had any ideas about being a commercial artist. That was not something that was was something that I was shooting for. So I have had some commercial success, but most of my albums, you have to be a Don Mclean fan to buy the 20 or 30 albums that I've made, and the other records with special tunes on them and whatever. But it's not a bad thing to be. I do a lot of different things, and people know those things, but a lot of times they don't know it's me. They don't know Vincent is the same guy that did American Pie. They don't know Crying is the same guy that did Vincent. They don't know And I Love You So or Castles in the Air, because they're all so different. Mm-hmm. So, but all those songs are 50 years old. So, all that stuff was done in the very beginning. And it's not like I did nothing for 50 years. I've done many, many, many things and many, many songs. But that was the time when the singer-songwriter was king. And so your best work got played in those years and became famous.
Yeah, so you've talked a little bit about, kind of playing around with some different styles and everything, and obviously, the industry's evolved, certainly.
Can you ask me that? Can you speak up just a little bit louder?
Yeah. So, obviously, you spoke a little bit to, some style changes and such, and the industry's definitely changed, throughout your career. Is there anything you're really seeing? I mean, like, here on, like, the consumer end, we're seeing, like, the resurgence of vinyl and everything like that starting to come back. So just, do you feel like the industry is more oscillating, or is it just a completely new trend going on?
Well, I didn't understand all your question, but I hope I can give you some part of the answer. The music business, was that part of your question?
Yeah. I mean, just your perspective on, where's music been, where's it going, anything in the industry like that.
Well, the music business was something that I more or less understood, until maybe the last 15 years. Because it was, you performed and you got an agent and you made a record and you had a hit record or you didn't. But with the internet and social platforms and networking and all that stuff, that drives so much. It is conceivable that because of all the work I've done in this pandemic, with the new YouTube channel and the release of albums, and certainly Universal Songs is going to do a box set and a bunch of stuff for this year. Warner Brothers is going to do a bunch of things, a new album out. It's possible that I could become more famous than I ever was by a long shot as a result of playing the game the right way, rather than just, going on the road and making an album once in a while. So it's a whole new world for me, but it's working for me. I'm very suitable for this because, I'm a good performer, and but I'm not. I don't run all over the stage and do all this stuff, but I make records that people like to hear. So by getting all that stuff out, on the channel and on these streaming platforms, if somebody, decides they like Don Mclean, they have a lot of stuff they can find, which will surprise them.
Now, I know the documentary you said is going to take a little bit of a look into, like, your process and composition, but how's the new album coming, what's it like been working on that, making new music?
I've had a lot of fun doing that. I wrote a few songs with my guitar player, and then I wrote a bunch of songs by myself, and we made all the tracks, and we've got everything going. That my producer came here and I did all the vocals, and I put a lot of acoustic guitar on there, hard driving. We're having a blast doing this. Because there's no huge, time problem, and I want to make this really, really good, and so I'm very, very careful about this. But everything is right on. The songs are, quite up. They're rock and roll, and they're really. As far as I can see, I'm extremely happy with what's happening.
Sounds good. And what are we looking at, like, time-wise for the new album release?
The end of this year, first part of next year.
So hopefully, maybe in the future, depending on when we can have tours, the new album could potentially be part of that.
It might even be before. It might even be in the fall, if we're rolling right along here. It depends on what Warner Brothers wants to do.
It sounds great. So, obviously, we're a college station and everything, and one of our biggest departments here at Marietta is our music department. So, what I really want to, I ask all our interviewees this, of just if you have any messages to, any students going through music or looking at doing music as a major or whatnot, any advice of the industry, the profession, life advice to a bunch of 20-some-year-olds?
Well, I'll tell you two things that occur to me, especially since we have this pandemic, which is not over yet. Let's hope it is, but we have yet to get the green light and say that society can go back to normal. Two things. If I were young and I were a really good singer and a good guitar player and I was intelligent and I was interested in current events and in literature and in the English language, I would write the very most beautiful songs I could about things that matter, and I would study Ed Sheeran's career. I would want to know every bit about how he went outside of the norms of the music business in order to have the phenomenal success that he's achieved. That would be the way I would go. Whatever he does, I want to do that. And I think he has something like 20 million followers on Facebook or something. Well, there's a way that he developed that and study what he did. Because you ask me, all the other performers out there doing it the old way are not where it's at. And I would practice a lot. I would, every day I would have a routine for practicing, a couple of hours a day, singing, playing the guitar, singing songs to get better and better at singing those songs. Like my son plays guitar and he sings, and when he was a little guy, he was a really good, he still is a really good singer and guitar player. And I would say, okay, Wyatt, now I want you to take this song, and you know how to sing it, and we're going to pretend that you're in the studio, and you're going to sing this song, but it has to be perfect. You can't hit any wrong notes, and you've got to play the guitar exactly the right way. So I want you to start and sing the song now. And he'd sing the song, and he'd get like a third of the way. I said, that's a mistake right there. You got to start over. Trying to let him know what the standard is, in the way we were used to. And you can hear a lot of artists on YouTube doing sessions where they're doing takes and retakes. And everybody had to be perfect. And the thing about it is when you're a performer and you go out on stage and you're going to sing 20 or 25 songs, they all have to be perfect every night. So you need to practice a lot. That's the key. You just can't. Now, a lot of these kids today, they dance around on the stage and they mouth the words and they're getting, they're mouthing the words to a track, and it's all, it's not real. Most of it is that. And that's where we started down the wrong road right there, because you have to have standards as an artist, to be able to do anything that's meaningful.
That's great. I mean, just a really, great perspective. And I mean, I really think, everyone knows they should practice. But whether that actually gets done, especially when you have a million other things and papers going on and stuff, it gets put to the back burner a lot. And it's kind of sad because it really should be all about the music. So, anything else you want to talk about while I have you on the air today?
Well, I would say that it's kind of too bad that music has become such a big money thing, because it was great when you had small nightclubs around where you could sing and go get a job for $50 or whatever, or $100 or whatever, and get up on stage for a couple of hours and play and really work. And you have to be in front of an audience for extended periods of time in order to be comfortable and in order to know how to sing and perform and do whatever it is that you want to do with that audience watching. And, sometimes where you're going to fall and you're going to hear a dead silence out there and you got to recover. But you don't want that to be in front of 2,000 people. So when you're learning, you have these smaller places to go out and you can recover. You can learn to make a joke or say something ridiculous or, I don't know, have some little funny songs that you do once in a while to distract from your mistake that you made. On and on. It's all stagecraft, but you have to be on stage to get stagecraft. So it's a good 5 years at least, or 10 years even, and of working all the time toward your goals. And the one thing I would say is don't ever think about committing suicide. There's a lot of people today who are young people especially, and we hope this thing will end, but who have been very disheartened by the fact that their plans have been completely screwed up. They don't really know what the heck to think. And think outside the box. Start to think of new things. Write crazy new music and new ideas, and say things that are in your heart, and figure out ways to make money with a guitar so that you can make a living, in between. What if you were really good at doing this, and you also wanted to be in business, and, you got a job, and pretty soon they're going to fire you or say you have to be retrained? Well, you can go back to playing your guitar for a while, make some money doing that. You're not locked into whether or not the man wants to hire you,
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I've always found that as an interesting point, Everyone will tell their kids when they're growing up, you can be anything you want to be. But they say that with the tone that makes you think like you have to choose one thing. Like you only get one lifetime, therefore you can only do one thing,
Mm-hmm. Well, it's wonderful if you're like me and you're only good at one thing. Then it's really easy to pursue that for 50 years. But I feel sorry for these intelligent people who speak 10 languages and they're good at math and they're wonderful at singing, but they also play the piano and they're brilliant at that. They're brilliant at everything, but really great at nothing. And the world has got a lot of those people in it, and they're some of the saddest cases. What I like is when you've got a good talent and you just need to work to make it better and strive to improve, because you're not there yet, but you do have something. That's a better place to be than to have all these skills automatically coming to you. Oh, he does this and that. He's a wonderful actor, blah, 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 but basically he's got too many things, too many irons in the fire. You need to have one or two passions, and you focus on that and stay with it and get deeper and deeper and deeper into it. That's my advice.
Yeah, you gotta stay the course and keep at it.
What's that?
You gotta stay the course and just keep at it.
Yes, you have to do it, because you're going to have ups and downs. No way is going to be easy. Nothing's going to be easy. Marriage is very difficult. Raising children has its ups and downs, wonderful joys, but troubles and worries. You have to be strong, and you have to realize that you're going to get knocked down. You have to get up. A champion gets up. You don't stay on the canvas. You get knocked down, you get up. I like what Patton said. He said, it's not General Patton, who was one of the people that won World War II. He said, it's not how high a man goes. It's how high he bounces after he hits rock bottom. That's the determination of how high a man, what kind of a man is.
Mm-hmm.
And, you see so much of this now with homeless people who have hit rock bottom and they can't bounce. They don't know how to bounce. They don't have the skills to figure out how to get out, because they didn't have the parents, they didn't have the education, they didn't have the, I don't know, so many things. So you're in college there, you have everything, and you have ways you can bounce.
Yeah. So, I think we're getting kind of close to the time we set up here, but just anything else you want to say, throw out there?
Yeah, I'd like to say that if you want to be an artist, or even if you're going to be a human being, and hopefully we're going to be human beings, do something for other people. Take an interest in other people's lives. Get outside of yourself. You're very boring. You know, I'm boring. Don't you? The more you get inside yourself and all your issues, oh, gee, I'm going to go back to when my, father was mean to me in high school, oh, that's stupid stuff. Get rid of it. Get outside of yourself. You're good the way you are. Now, give something to somebody else, and don't be looking inside all the time and, being neurotic. It's not going to lead you anywhere. It goes no place. The best thing to do is be helpful to other people, interested in other people. I always ask people about themselves, what they're doing, where they come from,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the great things that, we kind of overlook of, to be human is to take an interest in loving one another, so.
Well, there's so much effort in the United States now to make people never let go of any of their troubles when they were younger, and blame everything on their parents, or, I was abused, or I was this, or I was that, It's stupid. It really is stupid, and it's part of the culture that we have to live in now, where everybody's so fucking sensitive about everything. You can't make a joke, or somebody gets their ass up, and they get all upset. It's pathetic. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everyone has a story and has a background and stuff, but what matters is, what you want to do next, Take up the pencil and, try to forge ahead, write your own story.
That's right, and don't worry about what your friends think either. Well, look, I'm going to have to go now.
Yep. No, I got
Thank you for
it's been great having you, and to everyone out there listening, certainly check out the tour, check out the book, the documentary, the new album, all of it, the YouTube page, just look it up. So we're able to continue doing great interviews with this. I mean, it's been amazing to have you on here. So.
Well, you can have me on some other time, and then nice to talk to you. We'll talk a little about Marietta at that time. You can teach me more about what goes on there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up all of our programming we had for this Friday night here on WCMO 98.5. So, without further ado, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled programming.